How I lost 100 pounds. 100 pounds in 100 days. And it's actually a little more than that. Over a decade ago. More than a decade ago. And I didn't do it with keto. I didn't do it with high fat. I didn't do it with no carbs. Had I known then what I know now, I would have upped my carbs. I would have upped my carbs from natural sources like fruits. My fruits would have been even more. And some of the stuff that I see on the internet, I'm not trying to be negative. Some of the stuff is mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. They're tickling the ears of the lazy-minded people. People are lazy-minded and they want to be told what they want to be told. And people are willing to tell them for money. That's what's going on. Not being negative about it. What I'm saying is from experience. I have experienced everything that I talk about, and I show it. My full blood panel, I will show anybody, and I will let anybody take my blood and compare it to anybody's at any time. I'm going to be 42 years old in a month. I will compare my blood work to any 20-year-old who talks about health, fitness, diet, anything. Any 20-year-old with money on the line who is saying the opposite things of what I say. My testosterone is 947, and I'm or it was at 41, and this is with taking nothing. I do not take herbal supplements. I don't take TRT. That stuff. There's nothing wrong with that if it's needed, but that's last resort. I am about reversing my own age and adding 30, 40, 50 high quality years to my life. I can try and trick myself and do things like take a little bit of testosterone that's synthetic. I'll feel good for the time being, right? I'll be able to sell things to people. I'll be able to look good. I'll be able to have that like, hey, you look better than the average person look. But that goes against my obsession. My obsession is to reverse my age. My obsession isn't to be going and selling things to people on the freaking internet. My obsession is to be reversing my own age and getting off the freaking internet at some point. Completely. That's my obsession. So, as an online entrepreneur for almost a decade now, my goal is to be completely off the internet at some point. People who want to be on the internet don't know what it's like to make money on the internet and be stuck with a computer. So that's my entrepreneurial goal, is to be offline making passive income at some point. But when it comes to my obsession, I'm sharing the things that I'm sharing with people are off of my own experience. How I lost 100 pounds in 100 days. This is more than a decade ago. I didn't do it with keto. I didn't do it with eating high fat. And like I said, if I had to do it all over again and it was right now and I knew what I know right now, I would up my fruit even more. Up my fruit and the bottom line of everything, the road to age reversing, the road to optimal health. Age reversing and optimal health are kind of different roads. The road to optimal health, okay, the road to the fountain of youth, the road to whatever you want to call it. Those roads are all paved with unprocessed foods, period. Unprocessed food starts it. That's what has to be there. Unprocessed foods has to be in the equation. Depending on, if you're going for age reversal, unprocessed foods, period. 1,000,000% has to be in the equation. You're going for like just general health, unprocessed foods still has to be there. People could just play around and maybe not be so serious. But when you're talking about anti-aging, you're talking about longevity, you're talking about peak, unprocessed foods is where it begins. That doesn't sell, obviously. That doesn't sell. So when people won't do this because people are lazy-minded. If people who have no clue how to eat, have no clue what their bodies need, have no clue, they just eat food. They think food is there to entertain them, and they just eat stuff, and they go get stuff that's easy for them to eat. Even if they make their own food, sometimes they're still eating processed calories that are saving their lives because the processed calories are fortified with the nutrition that they're going to be deficient in because they don't know how to eat. So if people try to eat unprocessed foods on their own, they're going to be deficient in all kinds of micronutrients because they don't know how to eat food. People will not know how to eat food. That's what this book is. That's what this book talks about, vegan diet. That's the main point in this book. I call it the vegan diet. The focus on the animal product is eggs because that's the best source of animal product that there is, eggs, but whole eggs. But this is a diet about perfecting every single aspect of what food should be. It's about how you look at food. It's about how you look at the different macronutrients, the fats, the carbs, and the proteins, and the micronutrients, and knowing what your body needs micronutrient-wise, and how to go about getting them with the best sources from the macronutrients, not giving yourself more of what you need over here, and because your body wants its fuel to come from good sources of carbohydrates. That's what your body wants. If you're healthy enough, people are doing stuff where they're trying to make their bodies run on high fat when they're not unhealthy enough to even need that to happen. Like it doesn't make any sense to me. Like the people who should be using that as a last resort are people they shouldn't be looking on the internet for someone to tell them how to do it. They should be monitored by professionals who who monitor everything that they do because those people are on the verge of death. That's where it doesn't make any sense, man. I'm at a loss for words. When I think about it, I lose my train of thought because there's like people in their 20s that are like want to be into fitness and stuff. They want to be like fit. Like they want to be cardiovascular and they're doing the opposite as far as their fuel. Like it doesn't make any sense, man. Let alone the average middle-aged dad bod soccer mom who, if they go that way, initially they're going to get benefits because it's going to be different than eating a bunch of crap. They'll be eating more vegetables and they'll have good results initially because it's better than eating fast food. But it's not this. This right here has perfected what a diet is. It's about perfecting. It's about setting the bar at perfection. It's not about only eating eggs. It's not about being a vegetarian. It's not about being a vegan. It's not about any of that. It's not about any of that. It's about perfecting the diet, getting the best sources of everything, understanding what you need with this, what you need with that, and what you need with that, and what you need with that, where you should get it from, being able to figure that out. Everyone needs to be their own nutritionist and figure out what they need and where they get it from. Once you do that, you realize what you can eat, what you should be eating, how much of this you should be eating to balance out what your body wants. You start running like a well-oiled machine that way. You're not giving yourself too much fat. Your body if you give yourself too much fat and you're giving yourself carbs too, your body wants to run on carbs. So your body is going to take that fat and it's either going to use it as fuel too, depending on how many calories you're giving it. If you're giving your body too many calories compared to what you burn, your body's going to take that and start using that as fat. You're going to store it as fat. So it's very, very simple. It's very simple like that. It's mind-boggling to me, the stuff that's out there that's trying to confuse people and make people do all these different things when all they have to do is just like focus on the simplest aspects of nutrition, and they can start going down the path of longevity. Hell, you want to take it further? You want to go down the path of reversing age, like where my obsession is? That's a different story. You just have to start changing your lifestyle. You have to start changing your mindset. Those types of things. But just with the diet, if people understood just basic nutrition for what they need to feel good, let alone take away all the anti-aging and all that, throw that out the window. We're just talking about getting yourself running well, getting your body running well, the way it needs to, giving your body everything it needs from food to be able to perform at its peak. Once people can get there, they will start thinking about these other things. They will start going, hey, wait a minute, I can start reversing my age. You will. I guarantee you will. But initially it starts with the diet. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not being negative on any of that other stuff. I'm just saying it the way it is, because unprocessed foods, if I said processed foods earlier, I meant unprocessed foods. I don't know what it said. I just turned this on. This is not scripted. There's not a teleprompter behind this camera. I just turned this on. I just got home. I got my vitamin D from the sun. I had a nice little nap. We were out in the sun. So that's where I just got done doing, just right now. So, unprocessed foods. Unprocessed foods is where it starts. 100% unprocessed foods is the elite diet. Now, breaking it down to what you need, that this talks about. But that is where it starts. That's the bar. That's perfection. Unprocessed foods. 100%. Everything that goes in us, if it's 100% unprocessed, that's top of the top. Creme de la creme right there. That's the bar. Everything else is underneath that bar. So, understanding that right there, understanding that, as simple as that sounds, people don't want to hear that. People don't want to be told that. They want to be told, geez, some people want to be told the complete opposite of that. So, anyways, these books right here, and look, here's a meal prep book. These are all, you can find all these free. In the link in the description, there's a link that'll take you to the ebooks for free. So, this right here, this meal prep book, I wrote this, I don't know when I wrote, last year. This is like the healthiest meal prep guide on earth. This is something that everyone, the general public, everyone can do this if they're not like allergic to certain foods. You know what I mean? So, but this is something that's general, it's unprocessed, and everyone can do it. What I do is I can eat this way, and I do eat this way, but this is not my ideal way of eating. But I do eat this way though. But it's more of the way that I prefer to eat. It's the general public won't do it. They can't do it. They're not gonna. You have to be almost a freak to think of food that way. So that's more normal. That's more like meal. It's more meals that people are used to seeing, and so the way that I really eat is different. So this book right here, it talks about perfect diet, the vegan diet. the perfect diet for each individual. You're going to be different than me. You're going to need a little bit different, just a little bit. It's not drastic. Unless something's wrong with you, then you shouldn't be on the internet looking for ways to eat. You should be getting help from professionals. You should not be looking at anybody, not even the doctors on the internet. Not even the doctors. You're not even, let's see, the doctors, if there's any ones that are like, some of them's like, you don't even know if they're even real doctors, right? But not even the doctors on the internet. You should not be looking looking at what they're saying as anything you should be using. You should be personally with somebody who can deal with you one-on-one, face-to-face, that knows about your background, knows about everything, and that's professional. So that's the way that is. But for everyone else, they can perfect their own diet with the information that's in here. They can perfect their own diet, and they can eat meat, they can eat stuff like that. But this talks about the way things really are. The way things really are. So people can do whatever they want. This just talks about where the bar is. The bar is up here at perfection. Everything else is beneath it. So whatever people want to do, they're just taking themselves down lower and lower and lower. So this is based off of my own obsession with my own age reversal. So I want to be attaining what that perfection at the top. I fail all the time at everything because we're humans. So to reverse age, diet, lifestyle, mindset, and the byproduct of those three things being perfected is the training. The training will be at its peak if those other three are. So my goal is to get them all perfect. I fail every single day, especially at the lifestyle and the mindset, because I'm an imperfect human being. But that's my goal. Every day, Groundhog's Day. Now, I failed today at something, but I get back up and I'm gonna do it again tomorrow, and I'm gonna try, and if I will fail at something tomorrow. But that's all right, you know. And I'm not failing at big things, all right. It's not like I'm being lazy-minded and I'm failing at, I ate pizza. The diet. I have the diet, but for me, it's the lifestyle and the mindset that I will let slip, and that will fall out of my head for 5-10 minutes. I'm like, oh man, I realize it. I gotta fix it. That's just life, man. But that's because I'm obsessed with my own age reversal, and I know what it takes to do. And it takes a constant perfection of all those things I just said. Perfection. This is age reversal. You can't expect anything else. You can't expect anything else. You're defying Mother Nature's plan for us to grow old and wither away and die. You're defying that. You're going against that. So it's not something that is easy. And I know that a lot of people that's not their goals. They want to get old and wither away and die. I understand that, but I'm sharing mine, and I'm sharing my obsession, and it's real. My obsession, it's real, and it's been there for a long time, and I've perfected it. At least understanding what the perfection is. Like I said, I can't get it all right, because we're gonna lose against Mother Nature. So Mother Nature wins, man. Anyways, I was just thinking that because I was watching something. I was watching a YouTube video, and a guy was saying like the opposite things of the way. It's like, man, why are people? Well, I do know why. I said it in the beginning. It's because people are lazy-minded, and people are only going to pay money to something that they want to hear. They're not going to give somebody money for something that is hard, something that makes them think that they have to work, something that inconveniences them, something that's not entertaining to them. They're not going to do that. So it's sad, man. It's sad when when I see that crap, man, it's like, dude, people are they're getting led the opposite way of the way it is. You know, and I wrote this, I was actually going to not do any of this stuff for 10 more years till I was in my 50s. So I started getting in my 40s and I was like, let me do this. So this is like a watered down version of how I lost. This is the version, this is the good, just the easy, mellow version of it. Because I'm not gonna go and wreck myself to write something that's that personal that I'm gonna give away for free. That's stupid. I'm not gonna take myself through that. I don't need to. This is over a decade ago. That's smart of me to do that, because that would take me backwards. I'm about going this way. That would bring me down in my obsession with my own age reversal. So when I started writing this last year, I was like, wait a minute. I have to write this a certain way. That way it doesn't bring me back into that time. It doesn't take me back into that, I can write it, separate it from myself and move on, because I'm giving it away for free. So anyways, I'll quit rambling, and you have yourself a wonderful, wonderful day.